is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello, good evening. Happy Saturday to everybody if you're watching us in the Pacific. And if you're watching us in the Philippines, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. It is 1 p.m. in the afternoon. As always, I hope you had a wonderful lunch with your loved ones, your friends, your family, and your significant others. So happy afternoon, I guess. And it's still humid, but it is what it is here in the Philippines. And as I've said always, it's more fun in the Philippines. So if you're watching us, we are live on different podcasts, namely Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And and if you're using Alexa, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. And if you are using Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLB Radio channel. And simultaneously, we are live on PHLB Radio Facebook page as well as PHLB Radio YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber yet, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we're on, all you have to do is click that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we are on. And if you have any questions, about the shows or the station, feel free to email us or check us on our website, which is www.phlbradio.com. Yan, naku, ang dami nating, ikaw muna, ayusin ko yung chair at medyo tabingi ang aking pananaw sa aking computer. Anyway, I'm still here in Manila. And what you're seeing at the background is my mom's beautiful home. So anyways, maganda po ang topic natin today. And hopefully I could find yung letter because nawala siya sa screen ko. So I'm trying to get it back. Hold on lang po. Okay, hold on. Share ko na rin tuloy. Okay. There you go. Okay, hopefully I'm looking for that right now. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Okay, let me find it. So bear with me while I'm talking to you. I'm looking for the email that was sent to me because natabunan po earlier kanina. So hopefully I'll find it. But for the time being, hold on lang po. At thank you pala do sa mga nag-watch ng show yesterday. That was truly a wonderful show yesterday. It talks about my trip, my visit to Our Lady of Manaoag. And that was really a sight to see. Okay? And talaga pong, hopefully when you watch it, you were blessed as well. Okay, ito na, baka makita ko na siya. There you go. Okay, maganda. Buti na lang mabilis itong ating phone at nakita ko kaagad siya. The topic for today, yung para sa ating mga nanonood at humahabol pa. So it's muling buksan ang puso. It's like revisit or open your heart. Yan ang kumbaga in Tagalog. Okay, so here's the episode today at hopefully makahabol yung mga late nating mga kaibigan at mga listeners and viewers. Today's episode is muling buksan ang puso. Sabi dito, Dear Kuya Josh, super duper hello sa iyo mga listeners at viewers. Thank you for your show, dear Kuya Josh. Sobrang daming lessons learned every week. Truly, may lessons to be learned sa bawat kwento ng buhay. Itong show na ito ay weekly habit na para sa akin. Kuya Josh, when do you know the right time to move on? Kailan mo dapat buksan muli ang puso para sa bagong pag-ibig? May tama bang panahon para sa pagmamahal o bagong pagmamahal? Ako si Nanette, 40 years old, biyuda na po, may isang anak. Nurse ako by profession at currently working here in Texas. Si Dante ang unang lalaki sa buhay ko. We met sa nursing school sa Maynila. Solong anak po si Dante. Sabay kaming nangarap na magtrabaho sa ibang bansa. Naging best friends kami na nauwi sa pag-iibigan. When we became nurses, we both worked at the same hospital. During those times, I felt complete and cannot ask for anything more. During those times, I felt complete and cannot ask for anything more. Dante is moreno, tall, super yummy, at super mabait. He was caring and very attentive sa lahat, especially with me. Kaya he was voted as the Nurse of the Year dahil sa extraordinary niyang bedside manner when it comes to patient care. Luckily, we were both accepted sa isang malaking hospital sa Texas. We did not think twice about it and we jumped at the opportunity to work abroad. We decided to get married, then kahit simple wedding lang. Kuya Josh, I was the happiest girl in the world. I married the man of my dreams. Si Dante ang sagot sa lahat ng tanong ko and purpose of my being. Wala na akong mahihiling pa, kundi ang magpasalamat sa blessings ni Lord. In Texas, I gave birth to our child, Matthew. Excuse me. Kompletong-kompleto na talaga ang buhay ko. I have an amazing husband, stress-free na work, awesome son. What else can a lady or a girl can ask for, di ba? Pero just like in a movie or teleserye, may trials din ang buhay. Dante was diagnosed of prostate cancer. Hindi kami makapaniwala because Dante was health conscious. Metikuloso siya sa lahat ng bagay, especially when it comes to his food. At religious siya sa kanyang exercise routine. We both fought the battle, but eventually we lost. Dante left us. That was also the day that my heart died. I cried like there was no tomorrow. I only tried to live because of our son Matthew. Siguro, Kuya Josh, without Matthew in the picture, I would not know what I could have done. Dante was my life. He was my joy, my pillar of strength, my everything. Kaya when he passed, my heart died with him. Si Matthew ang reason why I continued to live. Honestly, I felt like a zombie while going through life. I just went with the flow. I left the hospital where Dante and I used to work to help me move on. I decided to work in a clinic para di masyadong toxic ang schedule. Dito ko na-meet si Doc Peter, a pediatrician. Honestly, I felt different when I met Doc Peter. It was odd, pero I felt peace and sense of joy when I met him. Dahil maliit lang ang clinic, I was his nurse. Dito na nahulog ang feelings namin sa isa't isa. It has been 3 years, Kuya Josh, since Dante passed. All these years, it never crossed my mind na there would be someone else, that there would be anyone else who can replace my Dante. I have to be honest. I would not be honest if I tell you that I do not have feelings for Doc Peter. He, in so many ways, like my Dante. Malambing siya, caring, at very passionate sa trabaho niya. He always showed some interest in me. He asked my permission if he can court me. I did not give my answer yet. One reason why I wrote to you, so I can get some comments, opinion, and advice, not only from you, but from the viewers and listeners. Kuya Josh, when do you know the right time to move on from your past love? Kailan mo ba talaga dapat buksan muli ang puso para sa bagong pag-ibig? May tamang panahon ba ang pagmamahal? Yon ang mga tanong na gusto kong isuwalat sa show mo. I hope mapagbigyan mo ako and you would be able to read and give time to my simple letter. Isang tagahanga, Nanette. Ayan, nako, yung mga nanood sa atin. Welcome po. Teka, si Doms Sepagan. Aba, naging regular na si Doms. I'm glad that you were able to watch. Si Dom Sepagan is watching. Si Sunny Francisco is watching also. I think Doms is watching from Antipolo. Si Sunny is watching from, I think, Project 4. At yung mga hindi nagpaparamdam, please do magparamdam kayo so I will be able to give you a shout out. That being said, ang ating topic today, ayun nga, muling buksan ng puso. So may mga characters, so para hindi tayo malito, ang letter sender natin ay si Nanette. 40 years old, na byuda at may isang anak. Yung anak niya ay si Matthew. Ang dating asawa niya o yung namatay niyang asawa ay si Dante. At ang bago niyang kakilala ay si Doc Peter, para malinaw. Okay, what was being said? Ganito yan. So siya ay nabyuda because she said she's a nurse by profession, and of course they met. Dante and her met during their nursing school. Then of course they became friends and they were admitted to the same hospital. At naging dream nila, it was their mutual dream to be able to go overseas and work in a foreign country, at natupad naman yun. And because of that, they decided also, prior to them migrating to Texas, is to get married. So simple wedding nga lang daw. And then of course they proceeded to their new life in Texas. They end up working in a hospital in Texas. And of course she gave birth a year after, yun nga, kay Matthew. So sabi niya, it was perfect, wala siyang complain, everything is fine and dandy. And then of course Dante happens to be moreno, tall, sabi niya yummy, good looking, at laging kumbaga very passionate sa trabaho niya. At ang bedside manner niya when it comes to patient care is excellent, kaya nga siya ang naging nurse of the year. Now that being said, what surprised them, parang her life was so wonderful, her life was so stable, her life was complete. Pero just like daw a movie and a teleserye, meron ding naging trials. And that is when when Dante was diagnosed to have a prostate cancer. And sabi niya, they put it together. However, just like anything else in the world, natuldukan ng kanyang happiness. What it meant was Dante evidently passed away. So single-handedly, she's raising Matthew in a foreign land, and happened to be in Texas or United States. And then so sa kanya parang wala na siyang reason to live other than yung son nila si Matthew. And sabi nga niya, good thing Matthew was there, kasi if Matthew wasn't around, she would not know what she could have done, or parang zombie na nga raw siya when she goes through life. So parang talaga, kasi si Dante, sabi niya, quote unquote, ang kanyang life, ang kanyang pillar of hope or strength, at ang kanyang peace. So that was very, 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 very difficult for her to move on. So what she did was she quit. She quit yung kanilang hospital na pinagtatrabahuhan nila ni Dante before, para so she could have an easy time to move on. Doon niya na-meet nga, dahil she end up working for a clinic, doon nga niya na-meet si Doc Peter. And Doc Peter happens to be a pediatrician. Okay? uh, Doc Peter happens to be a pediatrician sa mga bata. At siya naman ay siya ang naging nurse dahil maliit nga lang yung facility. So of course, one thing led to the other. Kasi masyadong siguro yung proximity nila to each other. So then Doc Peter, nahalata daw ni Nanette na merong feelings or may nagugustuhan siya ni Doc Peter, na Doc Peter being very polite asked kung pwede siyang ligawan. Yun ang dilemma niya because she's been a widow for a while, and of course hindi niya mawala sa isip it has been 3 years, hindi mawala sa isip niya si Dante, kasi si Dante had it all. Now what she was saying too is Doc Peter in a way reminded her of Dante, meaning yung mga actuations, the characteristics, the attributes of Dante, nakikita niya kay Doc Peter. So ngayon ang question ngayon ni Nanette sa atin, when do you know that you need to move on from your past lives? Secondly, how is it to open your heart again to a new love, to a new direction? Tapos kung meron bang tangi, is there a panahon, is there a takda na you could only entertain a new love after a death of your loved ones? So yun ang mga bagay-bagay na she's asking help from, not only from me, from opinion, advice at comments, but also sa ating mga viewers as well. So hopefully si Dom, si Sunny at yung ibang nakikinig sa atin would be able to share your opinion on about kailan ba dapat talagang magsimula kang umibig uli, o you will be able to entertain. Kasi like in her case, 3 years already passed when the husband, Dante, passed. Kung kailan ba kailangan, is there a time limit? Pwede bang right after death mag-entertain ka na ng suitors? Or should you wait for a year, or yung tinatawag nilang the Filipino culture, call it babang luksa. So yun ang mga things na meron ba talaga, is there a rule, a guide, or anything written or spoken, or what's the tradition? Now, when do you start entertaining people, especially when you lost a loved one, o kahit nga separation na lang, kunyari nag-break kayo ng loved ones mo, when is the time talaga na you are allowed na hindi naman magmumukha kang too desperate to jump into another relationship? Is there such thing as the right time, the right timing? Happy viewing kay Chloe Marie Mendy. I think Chloe Marie, to my understanding, is competing in 2 weeks sa isang beauty contest. So happy, good luck to you, and hopefully you have a wonderful training and just continue believing in yourself. I think that's the advice I would tell you, especially for people who would be competing in any sports or any contest, is believe in yourself and enjoy the journey. So since ganito, my advice muna, I'll do the advice first until we're waiting for other people to give their opinion. Firstly, Nanette, thank you for allowing us to have a part of your journey. Kahanga-hanga ka. Firstly, congratulations for being a nurse. Sabi nga kayo ang mga bagong bayani, especially, and we saw how important your profession. It's always been important, but talaga na highlight. Kumbaga nagkaroon ng spotlight during the pandemic when doctors, nurses, and anybody in healthcare was putting so much time and made so much sacrifices para lang mapanatili, to make sure na maintain ang status quo of a healthy community. So that alone, I congratulate you. Okay, also regarding yung sinabi mo nga na you already felt na complete ka na, congratulations if you were able to do that. That by itself, having a wonderful husband and a son to boot, is already a wonderful thing to be able to have in a lifetime. Kasi most of us were still struggling for that. Most of us were constantly looking for the right partner. But what you're saying is you were able to experience that, you had that. So that in itself, congratulations. Now, regarding naman kay Doc Peter, you said you've been single for 3 years because you didn't entertain. Firstly, I think my opinion or my comment would be, I hope you understand that each one of us, we have our own uniqueness. Each one of us, we have our own style. Ang pinupunto ko rito is hopefully you don't compare Doc Peter or with Dante, your husband, because it would not be fair naman na parang you would love or you would jump into a relationship with Doc Peter simply because Doc Peter reminds you so much of of Dante, or sabi nga your Dante. So it would not be fair because I think naman si Doc Peter is honest enough na ligawan ka, mag-ask ng permission, and that's really a plus. So for you to compare, it's okay to be reminded, pero hopefully you don't get involved simply because Doc Peter is like Dante in a new body. Sabi mo nga parang siyang si Dante. It's good na meron kang kumbaga parang I would say parang naging benchmark for your next love or person that you would be attracted to, but dapat siguro hanggang doon na lang yon. Now, yung question mo, is there a right time to fall in love? Alam mo, ako personally, there's no such thing there's no time or guideline when a person should fall in love. It might be, say, death of a loved one or a separation. It is a feeling, it is a decision. I think what I'm saying here is siguro pag death ang naging love mo, either your husband or your wife, my personal opinion, again, just a disclaimer, this is just my opinion and the opinion of our viewers and listeners, but basically it is not a reflection on the management or owners of PHLV Radio. Okay, my thing on that, kapag namatayan ka, ako ito this is Kuya Josh's opinion, if you lost a loved one, kunyari a husband, a wife, I do believe that before you jump into a relationship, give it a year. Intayin mo yung tinatawag ng kulturang babang luksa, kasi that was the time it always been mentioned that the 1 year is doon ka nagbe-breathe, doon ka nangingiling, doon ka parang you're trying to well, that's why after a year you celebrate, because you parang there's this lull period where parang respeto dun sa asawa mong pumanaw. So yun ako, meaning if you had a relationship and that husband or wife of yours passed, it's okay to be admired. It's okay to have a infatuation. It's okay to feel something for someone, but to get into a relationship, my Kuya Josh's advice, which is my opinion, I think it would be best to give it a year from the time of death until 1 year, parang first death anniversary, and then after that parang respeto na yon, kasi I know there'll be some complication if you just jump in to a relationship. I know that kung hindi man yung family or friends nung partner mo na nag-move on, they'll always would have some opinion and some criticism about you na hindi ka nakapag-intay, hindi mo man lamang nirespeto yung pagsasama niyo. And I know those words already been said in the past with other people, and I personally do not want that to happen to you. Kasi minsan sabi nga, words can be so hurtful. It could be, sabi siya, it's compared to a sword, lumalatay at ito ay tumatagos hanggang sa kaluluwa, especially hurtful words. So for me, Nanette, since it's been 3 years, I think you even more than enough to pass that deadline o yung sinasabi nating babang luksa. 3 years has been so long. I think sometimes we all need to move on in past relationships. We need to move on, especially when our significant other, where our partner had moved on to the past lives. I think it is important na you learn how to live life without your partner who departed our world. It is important na, luckily sabi mo nga, it is great na meron kang naging anak na si Matthew that gave you another reason to continue living. At nararamdaman ko na masyadong intense yung pagmamahal mo kay Dante. That's why you were feeling like a zombie going through life. Gets ko yun. And I know you're not the only one that had experienced that. Especially if Dante, based on your description, had been very parang ideal, parang model, parang ito yung mga man of people's dream. Ito yung man's man. Kumbaga ito yung parang lahat ng hinihingi ng isang babae o isang karelasyon na lahat yon ay napakita ni Dante. Not only his looks but also his demeanor, his characteristic. So yung going back to you, 3 years has been a long time. I think it's high time that you do entertain. It's high time that you kind of open your heart, buksan muli ang puso mo para mapagmahal uli. Kasi I know you're still a loving person because binuhos mo lahat sa anak mong kay Matthew. But it is important for you, Nanette, to understand when you get older, you need a companion. We all do need someone in our lives. There's no such thing as no man is an island. Meaning lahat tayo, we need someone, we need a friend, we need a buddy, we need a best friend, we need someone in our lives to make the life better. Yun nga lang, it is also important we find the right partner. We find the right person who would be able to give us that, who would be able to be an inspiration. So I always tell people, my friends, especially those loved ones, like when you have someone in your life, when you put someone in your life, it is crucial that this someone is an inspiration, not a distraction. Because kung nai-inspire ka with your relationship, na-inspire ka ng tao na to, it's worth keeping that person. It's worth fighting for that relationship. It makes sense for you to move in and move further, move or progress from this relationship. However, if the relationship or that person is already a distraction, meaning hindi ka makapag-concentrate, you cannot move on, masyadong nasasakal ka with that relationship, too much time being spent on or too much time wasted on that relationship, I think it is time for you to move on. Meaning, you need to cut your losses and instead of keeping that relationship, mag-ano ka na lang, you go further, mag-isa ka na lang, and then maybe you will be lucky enough to find that special someone to be able to be with you again. Now, yung sa'yo, Nanette, ideal talaga if Doc Peter happens to be the next person. I suggest you give it a try. You could start slow, be friends, go out, maybe friendly dinner, and so you get to know each other. Because it's always been my belief that sometimes you don't really know people you work with until you spend more time with that person outside of work. Kasi sometimes, di ba, we all know that when you work with someone, we tend to give our best foot forward. Di ba? Lagi nating, hindi mapabibo, hindi naman, not to that effect, but we end up being nice all the time. Hindi talaga nakikita yung talagang true self yung our real self. However, sabi nga nila, you will only know a person when you spend more time with that person, like on a private or an intimate setting. Maybe a restaurant, you would know whether the person you're with would have a good breeding. They would know the social graces, the etiquette. Kasi sa workplace kasi normally ano niyan na nakakahon na yan, like you play a role. You're a nurse and then Doc Peter is a pediatrician. So there's a certain roles, pero pag nasa social setting na kayo, nag-iiba na yon. Hindi nagiging doktor si Doc Peter, tapos ikaw nurse. You become an individual. You become your own person. Yun ang kagandahan when you spend time. That's why my advice to you is get to know Doc Peter better outside of work. What it means is you go out on dates, maybe for coffee muna para hindi masyadong toxic at hindi masyadong stressful. What you do is you allow yourself to open up with the idea na Doc Peter might be the next partner you would have in your life. So there's nothing wrong to that. Now on your question, may taning ba ang pagmamahal? Is there such thing? Wala. Love to me, it's not a feeling, it's a decision. When you decide to love someone, it is a decision. Kasi yung feeling, and I think we had a long discussion in some past shows, a feeling kasi it's fleeting, meaning nawawala. Kunyari, a good example, and I'll just repeat it for the benefit of our discussion. Sometimes when you feel like you're hungry, gutom ka. So when you feed yourself, nawawala na yung gutom. Kunyari naman, you're having a headache. When you sleep it off, the following day, wala na. For me, pag sinabi mo kayong your love is a feeling, there's a possibility na mawala. Pero if you decide to love someone, it's a decision. And of course, I want you to agree. I want you to disagree or agree to disagree with me, and that's okay. But my opinion on that is love is a decision. If you love and you decided to love someone, then the feeling comes after. Kasi di ba sabi nga, minsan especially on relationship, minsan we have friends, family, and loved ones who would say na, and I've been in cases like that, na they love each other on the time that they got married. They have all these wonderful vows, and they like, the person complete me. You are the cause of my happiness. I would not live life without you. Mga ganong beautiful words of love. However, when they are together, they have kids, and then after some time, then malalaman mo na lang na they're filing for a divorce or they're filing for annulment because they cannot stand each other. They are already on each other's throat. So that's the time that I would advise then. Imagine if when you married, it was not marrying that person because you feel that you're so in love with that person. But if you decided to love that person no matter what, then that makes a big difference. Why? Because through thick and thin, through sickness and in health, then you will stick by that decision. And the only time you would negate that decision is perong may mga instances na of, say, infidelity or being battered or being emotionally hurt, and of course especially pang physical na. So those are like occasions wherein of course nag-iiba yung decision mo about loving the other person. Pero as it is always important na you understand, and it's a give and take. Relationship is always a give and take. I was just watching a drama the other day, like the giver gives ng gives, tapos yung asawa niya take ng take. Life cannot be like that. Relationship should not be like that at all, because any relationship, whether friends, whether a partner, whether wife's significant boyfriend, girlfriend, it doesn't matter. Any relationship, any human relationship should be a give and take. what it means like, hindi naman lagi na lang isa lang ang nagbibigay. Kailangan talaga, hindi naman kailangan na, I gave you one occasion, ako nagbigay sa'yo, next occasion, ikaw naman. It doesn't work that way. Meaning, kung sino yung mas lamang should be able to be generous enough to give the gift of gifts or the gift of time, which is most precious among all gifts, because like we all said, time is something na priceless. But kung mas giving that, yung give na yan, hindi lang lagi isa ang nag-a-adjust. For example, if you are a couple and you guys are both busy, and then one decided, okay, I'll cross out some of these dates and some of this time to be with you. Hindi laging isang tao lang ang gumagawa nun. There should be other occasions, other instances whereby ikaw naman, the receiving party, would be able to return that same favor. Ikaw rin ang gagawa naman ng paraan to return that favor. Hindi pwedeng si A lang ang nagbibigay lagi kay B, because nakakapagod din kapag ikaw lagi ang nagbibigay. It is tiring and tiresome also every time that in a relationship you're the one always giving in. You're the one always managing in to make adjustments simply because you love that person too much that you sometimes sacrifice your own interest, you sacrifice your own wants and your own character because you are sacrificing this to that person you love. Because sometimes doon nagkakaroon ng problema when you love that person so much that you're giving not only 100%, you're giving 200% of your time na wala nang natitira sa sarili mo. And that's where normally the problem would come, dahil nga pag ubus ka na said ka na, and you have nothing else to give, and the other person is not appreciative, is not even grateful of the things that you are showering that person, it is not healthy. It is not good. Eventually, it will hurt your mental illness, your mental state, simply because mararamdaman mo parang nagagamit ka na, you're being abused emotionally, you're being used maybe financially, but it has to be a give and take, symbiotic relationship, meaning sabi nga kasi paniniwala ni Kuya Josh, it has to be yung parang puzzle na meron kang one person would be the strength of one person should be able to translate to your weakness, kung ba papupunaan niya yan. Pero sometimes kasi that in relationship hindi nangyayari, lagi na lang yung isa ang nagpupuno, isa ang nagbibigay, constantly isa ang nagpaparaya. Relationship should not be like that. Before I continue, si Ernie is watching from Marikina. How are you? Si Adelio Cruz. Adelio Cruz is the former Consul General of Los Angeles, and happy viewing to you. And currently the Undersecretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, and a very good friend and like a brother at that. And happy viewing to you, and hopefully we get together soon. And Gina Marcos is watching as well. Gina is watching from Banay, Laguna, Banay, Laguna. And Gina, regards to your mom, to Ate Neats, and hopefully she's getting better. And of course, as always, we want her back. Si Dom Sepagan, sabi niya, or si Pagan, sabi niya, ito yung comment niya para kay Nanette. Allow yourself the gift of vulnerability, for in opening your heart to love again, you not only invite the possibility of joy, but also the strength to weather life's storm with renewed resilience. Aba, ulitin natin. Allow yourself the gift of vulnerability, okay? For the opening of your heart to love again, pag nagbukas ka uli ng puso, not only hindi lang ang possibility of the feeling of joy, but also the strength to weather, parang meron kang katuwang, meron kang partner to weather the life storm with renewed resilience. Kasi in a way, and hopefully yun ang minimin ni Doms, na yung new love mo can give you a new feeling, a new way of inspiring you to be the better person of yourself. What it means also as well is that this new love of yours can be a partner for you to go into the battlefield of what we call life. Ang ganda. Ibig sabihin na meron kang you open your heart. So tama yan, muli mong buksan ang puso, because you're still young, you're only 40 years old, Nanette. There's more of life there is for you, not only for your son Matthew, but definitely for you. 40 years old is such a young age. If we're going the age, the number game, for you to be by yourself. Allow yourself to love again, especially now that Dr. Peter is in the midst. It would be encouraging na kita mo, God is so good to you, na kahit nawala na si Dante sa buhay mo, na sabi nga, the ideal partner, the one that you would have loved to spend the rest of your life with, pero binigyan ka pa rin ng panibagong chance, panibagong time, panibagong opportunity to love again, and that is Doc Peter. Okay, klaro lang, Nanette, not necessarily si Doc Peter ang makatuluyan mo. What I'm saying is, give yourself, open yourself up. Sabi nga ni Dongs, I'll echo that gift of vulnerability, meaning i-open mo, it won't take chance, take that chance, or take the risk of falling in love again, because you will only know kung isusubukan mo. You would not only know, kasi mahirap yung nag-overthink ka na what if. No, what if you open your heart? What if Doc Peter would even not only be like Dante, but it will even surpass Dante's position in your life. You would not know that until you open your heart, open your life to the possibility of having a new, a renewed love life, right? Now, also, Nanette, it is important also to understand, iba pa rin ang merong, I would say, inspiration. And it doesn't mean na kailangan love life lang yon. Meron kang ibang way of diversions. Kumbaga, you spend time with your friends, true friends. You spend with people that you care about, or sometimes you pick up a hobby, or if you are really into business, or you could have a business, yung parang meron kang ibang way of spending your life with, spending your time with. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng trabaho lang ng trabaho. Ako kasi I feel na in life you always have to have a balance. You always make sure that you work hard, you play harder. Okay, that's me, that's Kuya Josh, of course. Si Emma Consul. Naku, Emma, I missed you. It's been a while since we get together. Emma is watching from Carson, California. So one of these days, Emma, will get together when I come back. And so, yun ang the balance. So going back to that, in life, hindi naman pwedeng trabaho lang ng trabaho. Sabi nga, pag too much work, then it becomes so monotonous. The monotony gets into the picture, and sometimes then you got burned out. So how do you fight or combat that, being in the state of being burned out in the profession that you're in? Is to have a me time. Meron kang time to time for yourself, whether not to insult our friends and of course our loved ones na mga kababaihan. Sometimes ang therapy na talaga shopping. Doesn't hindi not necessarily na they spend a lot. It's just like they do window shopping, they go to a mall. And I know some people that they're refreshed when they go shop. Kahit na little trinkets, little items lang, basta importante they are able to go out. And sabi nga nung isang friend ko, basta importante mahanginan, importante makakita ng ibang tao, ibang perspective. And some people naman Sabi ni Emma, sorry, late. That's okay, Emma. Because of the time difference in the States, instead of the 2 p.m. show here in Philippines and other parts of the world, it's already 1 p.m. Na sabi niya, sabi ni Katrina Poblete Salom from, of course, Doha, Qatar. Sabi niya, ayan, finally. It's okay. Yung mga latecomers natin, meron naman po, you could always go back and to our PHLV Radio YouTube channel, and of course, right after the show, this show becomes available on a playlist. Just go for the PHLV Radio channel on YouTube and just type in, or you'll look at the playlist. You would say Dear Kuya Josh in there, and then all the episodes and all the shows we have done from the beginning in 2021 will all be there. And I know some of you are replaying most of those shows. So maraming salamat po. Sabi ni Katrina, nawala na naman ang connection ko, Kuya Josh Aduit. Naku, Katrina, I had that problem as well 2 weeks ago. Grabe, umulan lang sa city at nawala na ako ng internet. Ngayon, the internet is doing so well. I had it fixed. I had it checked. But the internet connection sometimes is erratic, and I already warned the station PHLB Radio about the possibility of me going off air. But of course, I have already a backup unit na would give me internet access that hindi maputol yung show. And it's interesting to know kasi si Katrina Poblete Salum is currently in Doha, Qatar. I'm surprised na meron din palang ganyan na nawawala internet. So at least I feel better. I know it's kind of weird. I feel better na hindi lang pala dito sa Philippines nangyayari yung internet connection. Dyan din pala sa Doha, Qatar. But happy viewing to you. Parang late din ang ating partner, si Rosana Milar Barrera, who is our singing dentist also in Doha, Qatar. So hello to everybody watching us from Doha, Qatar. Also happy viewing to the people watching us in Europe, like Poland and the Netherlands. And of course North America, that's US and Canada, as well as sige para hindi lang Philippines as well. O sige, global na rin. Happy viewing. I would not have the time to be able to mention each one of you, but like just know that you are much appreciated. So let's go back to Nanette. So yung kay Nanette, it's time for you to put on that dress and say, hello world, I'm back in circulation. 3 years has been a long time to be nursing that feeling of loss of your loved one, Dante. 3 years has been, sabi nga, that's too much of a time na it's time. So pwede na, and I don't think anybody will fault you for being able to continue your life and being able to find maybe a special someone this time around. Not really to replace Dante, but to make you happy again, to make you excited again on a day-to-day basis. Those are important na you be able. 3 years na. So, yung sa question mo, in your case, you have more than enough put in on time na wala na, nobody, even the family of Dante will not fault you anymore. Even I think your friends, even our people here who are watching us and listening to us, they would say, hello, Nanette, 3 years na, ang tagal na. It's so long of a time for you to be on your own. So this is the time to open your wings, to open the doors, to open the roof, to open your life to a possibility of opportunities, to find that special someone, to find that person who you can grow old with, to find, and this time, since ang ganda nung standard mo Dante will always be the standard of what a good husband, a good provider, a good person you would like in your life. And I think that would make sense, and you would be more selective, I guess, if not for a better word. You will be more aware, more cognizant, more more grounded on the people you want in your life, because nakita mo yung you were with the best. Sabi mo nga, Dante was your life. He was the pillar of strength, and he was your peace. So imagine mo, you already had a very good basis on what to look for on your next partner, on your next relationship, on your next maybe, you never know, maybe even a husband, because you had the best. So what do? You look for someone equal to Dante, or even better than Dante. Whether you're gonna find it or not, who's to tell? Only life can tell that. But that person will not come into your life if you don't allow yourself, you don't open yourself. Hindi mo buksan muli ang puso mo to love again. Hindi mo buksan ang puso mo na mahanap again your next partner, your next husband maybe, or your next person who would bring back that, who can bring back the joy, the peace, and could be your next pillar of strength. And that I would always encourage, and I would pray that you do find that person, that you eventually in God's perfect time, you would be able to find and know that person, whether it's Doc Peter or someone else. We'll never know, but I am hoping that you would be able to meet that person, or met that person already, or have met that person already. Only time can tell. And of course, I always tell people to pray. You always pray for discernment. You always pray to the supreme being that you believed in, because at the end of the day, and time again, I had mentioned it to everybody, your best weapon in life, in the battlefield of what we call life, are prayers. If you pray, and prayer is really a personal conversation with the supreme being that you adore. It could be the Lord, it could be Buddha, it could be whoever you feel like you venerate and you adore. Kasi po, we don't want to judge. I always make sure that it is said that we cannot judge that one religion, one affiliation is better than the other. It is how you were raised, how you were brought up. It is your belief. It is your principle on what is right and what is wrong, based on the core that was instilled on you by your parents, by your training in school, and all that. So that I leave to you, because religion is a personal relationship with the one that is over you, the one more supreme than all of us. It is a personal relationship, and no one should tell anybody that his or her religion is much better than yours. His or her affiliation is a lot better than yours. Only you can make that choice. Only you would be able to make that decision. So with that, again, Nanette, maraming salamat. And for those people who tune in, don't worry, yung mga na late, it's okay. I know it's the time is of an essence, and the mere fact that you showed up, and the mere fact that you're gonna watch the replay of the show, that means a lot, Kuya Josh. And that I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for constantly being supportive of not only Dear Kuya Josh, but also Alam Mo Ba with Josh and the Wit. Maraming salamat po. I would not able to always thank you. I would not lose that sense of gratitude every week, time and time again. Lagi ko pagpapasalamat, and I'll be so thankful for all the support, all the letters, all the accolades, all the praises, all the good words that you're saying to us, you're sending to me. Maraming salamat po. If you are inspired by the shows that I am doing, let's not believe me when I say to you, if you're inspired, I am more inspired. Kung may natutunan kayo, mas marami po ako natutunan. So like I always manage to continue. I thank you enough. I thank you more than enough rather for those people who tune in sa Alam Mo Ba with Josh and with yesterday. It was the pilgrimage to the church, to the Our Lady of the Rosary of Manaoag. Hopefully you could catch that. It's still playing. It's still on the archive. Ang ganda-ganda po nung pilgrimage na ginawa namin. And there'll be other more travelogue that we'll try to cover. So there'll be some variation. Hindi lang interview, hindi lang events, but also yung mga travelogue that especially now that I am in the Philippines, I would be able to share that with you as well. So para dun sa ating Filipinos abroad would be enticed, would be encouraged. At least you would know the different places where to visit. And one of these days, I know a lot of you said, di ba nag-Europe ka? Yes, I did early this year. Actually, Q2 of this year. And I have not covered that. But one of these days, one of the shows will tackle that, yung mga tips on, I think I gave you tips on the cruises. So now I'll give you tips also on what to avoid and how to do it. And so you could travel the world to Europe. I have not done so much of Asia, and I will be doing that maybe in the next Q3, Q4, and I will definitely share that with you as well. But for the time being, magsa-sign out muna po si Kuya Josh. And if this is a Saturday to you, happy weekend to everybody. And if this is already a Sunday, which is most likely mga sa atin, enjoy the rest of the weekend rather, at enjoy nyo lang po and be safe. Stay hydrated, especially you're in a tropical country like the Philippines. You cannot try to drink yung non-colored water, yung parang yung liquid na walang kulay. So it could be soft drinks, juices and all that. Water is the best liquid you could have in your body. So yun po ang ating payo, maliit na tidbits, and we'll have more to share next week. But for the time being, as always, I advise people, I tell people to always be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness, and any act of kindness that you do to one another or to another person, it is already a guarantee that it will come back to you, or it will be returned to you in different forms, in different situation, in different times, with different people. And with that, God bless us all, and have the wonderful next week. Be safe, everybody, and I'll see you again next week for a new episode, new shows of Dear Kuya Josh. And I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy viewing to our Team Replay and Team Share. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Just like a friend from back home. This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.